Sub YouTubes, Anarchy is the Darkness, also known as Kill Color Struck. And I'm back here to do a review of Fastlane and Raw. Doing them together because, let's be honest, Fastlane was nothing but a glorified Raw. I don't know what else to call it, other than having a little panel in between sections and shit with Booker T breakdancing, because I want to see that. Fastlane happened the exact way I thought it was going to happen. Nobody cared until the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match happened. John Cena Rusev match was a good match, but then it ended stupidly. You know, instead of having Cena tap out, you're just gonna have him pass out and cop out, because that's the way we want a younger talent to get over. I don't think I want Cena to tap out, because you know that'll infringe on his gimmick, never give up, because nobody ever taps out in real life. Let's be real, everybody tap out, everybody give up. Shit get too much, you give up, you step, or you don't necessarily give up, you step back and you go back in, okay? Can't let Cena tap out too much, because you know he's still Superman. Anyway, that was horrible. And then the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match, and I sat and watched Roman Reigns shut up every Daniel Bryan lover, dick sucker, balls licker, teabag loving fan fanatic, or whatever you want to call him. I watched him shut it up. Now people want to believe that somehow Daniel Bryan carried that match. Not at all. It was a great story. It was an equal amount, even though Daniel Bryan did get a little bit more in, because Daniel Bryan was supposed to put Roman Reigns over like any good wrestler would do. That's it. He didn't just go out there and HBK it, you know, sandbag a fucking jackknife powerbomb. He went out there and put his heart into it, and he put over Roman Reigns like he should have. And now we're going to go see the match that should happen, a powerhouse versus a powerhouse. We don't want to see another Daniel Bryan makes a guy who should actually kill Daniel Bryan in real living life fight mode. Nobody wants to see that. Well, obviously his fans want to see it, but it's about time that you just don't let the powerhouse die out. Roman Reigns is the first person, like I said in the last video, to actually headway this. And speaking of Roman Reigns, even though I'm WWE Black, I have a lot of stuff to say regarding that Monday Night Raw. But I want to say this about Roman Reigns. I've realized that a lot of you people don't like Roman Reigns only because he will take your bitch. That is the only reason why you Daniel Bryan ball lickers do not like Roman Reigns. Because Roman Reigns is that guy in high school that would have took your bitch if he wanted to. That's the reason why you don't like Roman Reigns. It has nothing to do with him not being able to wrestle. Because when I think about it, Ryback had been in Roman Reigns' shoes. Ryback had been the third man of the Shield. Ryback would be being cheered right now. The IWC would fucking love Ryback, okay? But Roman Reigns, somehow, there's an issue with him. Not to mention that Ryback looks like a goddamn skinhead. Looks like he hangs niggas for a living and don't give a fuck and smiles about it. Talk about feed him more niggas. You don't like Roman Reigns because he looks different. That's the only reason why you don't like him. Or you say you don't like him because he looks the same. No, Ryback looks the same and he gets cheered. If Ryback was in this situation, he would have been cheered even if it was Daniel Bryan. You still would have had two sides cheering. Okay? The reason why you don't like him is because he doesn't look anything like you. Or he just doesn't represent you. So you don't like Roman Reigns. Because you say he can't wrestle, but you know, he wrestles just as good as Ryback does. That goes to show you he botches less too. Just saying. Just saying, I'm going to back up off of that one. You don't like Roman Reigns because he's a pretty boy. He would take your bitch. And he's not white. Anyway, let me go on to that Raw. Nothing stood out to me on that Raw. Yeah, we got Randy Orton back. Randy Orton still a heel, but he's slowly changing over to his eventual baby's face. RKO out of nowhere, blah, 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 all that bullshit. I don't really care about all that. What I do care about, the only reason why I'm mentioning Randy Orton right now is because Randy Orton dropped a quote by Jean-Paul Sartre. I don't know how to say it. Jean-Paul Sartre, but made popular by the likes of Malcolm X. By any means necessary. When the fuck does it stop, WWE? You can appropriate black culture, i.e. the way Bray Wyatt cuts his promos, which is nothing but like an evangelical black preacher, and it had the charisma of it is like a evangelical black preacher. And if you don't, even if you don't see it, he got the whole world in his hands. That is a black song. Then you got John Cena, who's been appropriating black culture forever. The motherfucker comes out to his own rap song. Then You got the most obvious comparison to black culture, The Rock, okay? Now, The Rock is black, so he can use it. That's fine. Anybody can use it. I don't care about John Cena using black culture. The problem is that when it's time to put somebody over who might happen to be blacker or browner than him, then he's nowhere to be found because he needs all the shine and all the glory. Or the WWE sees it that way. Maybe that's the case. But anyway, The Rock, you smell what The Rock is cooking. That is a jive. That is a jive. That is a jive. That is a jive catchphrase, if you will, for lack of a better word. You smell what I'm cooking, young blood? The WWE will appropriate black culture, use it to the best of their abilities, but can't find it in their writing to put over a black wrestler or black talent. But you can use our culture. Definitely use our culture, but you can use by any means necessary. You can have John Cena bitch ass rapping forever. You can have The Rock. Well, I'll take The Rock back, so I'll go back like this. You can have Bray Wyatt singing black songs, black church songs, Bray Wyatt talking like a black fucking preacher, but you can't find a way to put a black guy over. What does that say about you? To me, the WWE is as white as the Oscars was on Sunday. Put the camera on Naomi as probably as much times as you possibly could without gagging yourself. Roman Reigns is a breath of fresh air for anybody who notices that, oh damn, every fucking wrestler here, every fucking wrestler that's top 10 is white. Let me go to your WWE website. WWE's top right now is Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Dean, Seth Rollins, Rusev, Bray, Paige, Cena, and the Usos. You got 3 Samoans, 1 Spanish guy. I'm not really sure Seth Rollins is Spanish, and he's racially ambiguous, so it really doesn't matter. You got, this is the top 10. You got 3 Samoan guys, and the rest, bunch of white people. Where's the diversity? This is like watching the Oscars. When, WWE, when is it you will find the time to say, hey, we haven't done anything with Big E Langston, really? We haven't done anything with Xavier Woods. We haven't done anything with Kofi in years. Why don't we do something with these guys? Because guess what? You guys are signing indie talent out the ass. So we talking about indie talent who already have established names that you're gonna make money off of. People who already got established names. We're not talking about John Cena running into Big E Langston, seeing that he's a powerlift champion, saying, hey, yo, you should come to the WWE, where you can sit around and be jobbed out, get beat by guys you would normally beat in real life. Guys you could hug to death. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen, Kill, those guys. Hitomi. I'm happy for him, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually fucking happy for him because eventually they're gonna have no choice but to let that motherfucker do his GTS. Because he invented the move, okay? You got Finn Balor. You got Sami Zayn. You got all these guys and none of them brown or non-white. We already know Samoa Joe was going to ROH. He not going to WWE. He 35 years old. What the fuck are they gonna do with him? Job him out. He ain't gonna get no title run. He taking his ass right back to ROH, where he can have a nice cushiony time, retire, and be done with wrestling. Moose is supposed to be, not Moose. They checked out Moose at one point. If you don't know who Moose is, look him up. He's in ROH. And I think they signed Yuha, but Yuha had to finish his all the stuff that he's gotten paid for already. All the things he's gotten paid for. He wanted to finish that up. So he's gonna come eventually. That's one black guy. That's one black dude. Are you fucking kidding me? You have Naomi with the talent that Naomi has, right? And she's beefing with, she's with the Usos versus the Tyson Kidd and Cesaro's. Congratulations to them. And Naomi beef. They're in that thing. So now her and Natalya is beefing. Because we really want to see Naomi versus Natalya. That's what we want to see. Honestly, you want to know what I think they're doing? They're honestly making that beef between them and the Usos and the Swiss-Canadian connection. They're making that because they don't have any black people on the WrestleMania card. They have some black people in the Andre the Giant thing, but we already know who's going to win that. Fucking Ryback. Ain't no black guy going to win that. Even though Kofi Kingston for years have been the pinnacle of the Royal Rumble. So when WWE, when are you going to stop the bullshit? And I don't want to hear people arguing at me. It's all about money. It's all about money. The NBA gave Michael Jordan a platform. Now people kill over his shoes. People get robbed over those shoes. Money. Don't tell me money. The NFL. money. 70% black. NBA, 85% black. I would probably go as far as say 90, but I don't want to go that far. And all they do is sell merchandise. Merchandise, tickets off black people. And who are they selling it to? They're not selling it to predominantly black crowds. Obviously, when you look at the sidelines to the LA Lakers, the fans that are on the sidelines in those seats, those aren't always black people. It's mainly white people. Unless you go to a New York Knicks game, and then that's Spike Lee. He's the only black person that's in those front rows. So don't give me that bullshit about how you gotta be marketable and somehow black people aren't, and there's no marketable black people in the WWE. Don't give me no bullshit like that, because that's untrue. It's certainly untrue. Kofi Kingston at one point was selling a lot of fucking t-shirts and a lot of fucking merchandise. At one point. But if you have him lose every fucking match, no, eventually kids are gonna be like, I don't wanna, why would I do that? Like, I don't wanna be representing a person that loses all the time. The reason why Cena sells so much merchandise is because he never loses. So who wants to be a fan of a loser? Nobody. Nobody wanna be a fan of a loser. Except me. And the only reason they're losers is because the shit is scripted. Come on, WWE. Find some time for some black talent. Stop fucking sitting on your ass, sitting on your hands. Well, I don't know. Xavier Woods, blah, blah, blah. Kiss my ass, man. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy, man.